You're hitting massive speeds. I mean, you hit the world first 41.4 knots back in 24, which is
Yeah.
incredibly fast. And for those listening, that equates to, because most of us can't do, well, I can't do the knot calculation. So it's 47 miles per hour, or in my part of the world, 76 kilometers an hour, which is incredibly fast. What sort of gear? You don't have to go into the detail if it's prototypes, but what sort of gear are you using to achieve that? And what was the condition of that day like to be able to do that?
That day was completely nuts. Yeah, that was between 45 to 50 knots wind happening in the south of France. So it was close to Gurisson for the people knowing the Défi Wing and Défi Wind. It's a beach called Le Rouet. So this beach is really famous for all the records which have been achieved on this beach. And yeah, it's just been so intense to go on that day and to observe the conditions increasing through the day. So in the morning session, I just went with my 4.3 Fusion V1 ozone wing, and it was already too much, and I had to decrease the size. It was between 35 to 40 knots, and I was not able to close the wing anymore on reaching and achieve high speeds. And it was not something really bad for me to decrease the size, as I will be able to decrease the leading edge size as well to reduce the drags. So yeah, I went with the 3.6 Fusion V1 ozone wing, and that was the great choice for the day that I kept for the 3 hour session trying to increase the speed. I went as well with all the production gear from Levitas, which was the Boom 44 RS board, which is a 44-liter board, which allowed me to have really few drags. And as it was so windy, there was no issue about taking off or whatever. It was
Yeah.
just trying to survive with the wing and take off. It was taking off by itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I was still with the L6 V1 mast, which is 1 meter 12 long, and the L5 S6 setup from Levitas, which is the 500 square centimeters foil. So that's all the gear that I was using was production during that day.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was just nuts to be able to achieve, for the first session, 39.9 knots of speed. I was just, missing a little thing to be able to clinch the 40 knots barrier, which has never been done that day. So I was, just at that speed, and I was not able to overcome that record. It was already a world first to achieve this 39.9, but I was so close to 40 knots barrier that I just decided to focus and go even more, to even more. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case for the first session. I was already too tired from the 2 hour session and, the high adrenaline created by it. And so I just started like crashing and crashing after all around 38 to 39 knots. And it was becoming more and more tough to me to focus and to not be scared. Cause crashing at that speed becomes really heavy stuff, really.
Mhm.
It's, definitely hurting a lot the neck and trying a lot to, save yourself first and then save your material, cause this can turn into a really bad story. But so when I saw after 2 or 3 crashes at that speed that I was not able to focus enough, I decided to stop, have a quick break on the beach, have a quick nap in my car while the wind was hitting my car and just making bumps. So yeah, it was just making me sleep a little more well, I would say, in my wetsuit.
Yeah.
And then I went back into the water 2 hours later after a quick lunch. And yeah, on the first run, I managed to achieve 40.4 knots of speed. And then I increased my speed. And I decided to not only go for the maximum top speed I can aim, but also work on the 500 meters. So total overall, I don't have all the numbers in mind, but what I can say is 41.4 knots of speed on the maximum speed, 40 knots of speed overall on 10 seconds, and 36.15 over the 500 meters distance. So
Wow.
that's basically all data I've been able to achieve on that second station.
So what does everything feel like at that sort of speed? I mean, does it feel like you could just lose it at any moment, or does it feel still pretty controlled for you at that sort of level of speed?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough because there is a lot of things happening absolutely everywhere. So there is this big slingshot around the low beach, which makes it even more fast for us in wing foil. So you have to be extremely focused on that direction you're putting into your board to follow the sandbank to get the smallest chop you can get and to be as close as possible. And at the same time as you're from 15 to 20 meters to the beach, you have a very gusty and shifty wind. So you have to be very focused on your wing balance and position. That's something that you have to keep in mind while going extremely fast, while just feeling a ton of air arriving to your head, becoming very noisy, and of course, you got that turbulences from the tiny chop already creating. So there is just so many things happening in your mind that you have to be focused extremely well to go really fast on that reach. You just have to focus a lot first on your feelings, on your core, just to be sure that your wing will be stable enough to achieve a great speed. That's the thing that I focus a lot first. And then, moving all my weight forward to counter the lift created by the foil. That's also something that I'm focused on. And creating the maximum counter heel I'm able to do to avoid getting a too big lift. And then following the slingshot and creating, all that spin during the going downwind. That's something that's, extremely hard during your mental preparation, but at the same time, physically, it's something you need to be really focused. And I work a lot with breathing because most of the time I'm really bad at it. But for that record, I try to be focused on that because I had to. In case of a crash happening, I had to release the air to be able to, to just exhale and be ready in case for an impact. So I had as well to, discontract all my muscles, try to be as relaxed as possible for able to doing that.